Hey everybody, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about the top 5 most dangerous animals that you need to be aware of while hiking. Let's go. Okay, we're going to get right to it. Number 5, most dangerous animal that you need to be aware of is responsible for over 125 attacks, 27 of them being fatal, but only in the past 100 years. So that's why it puts it at the bottom of the list as number 5. And here it is. To tell you the truth, probably the most scariest one. Here it is right here. It is the mountain lion. Cougar, puma, whatever you want to call it. Depends on what kind of region you're in. 125 attacks with 27 being fatal, and that's only in the past 100 years. It is being said that also they are making a comeback, so they are being seen more. Not to say that, there's going to be more attacks, but you never know. It is also well known that if a mountain lion doesn't run off within the first 5 seconds of it spotting you on the trail, it might be looking at you as a potential meal. So you need to be aware. You want to take these precautions. One, I just also put another video out specializing only in mountain lions, so please check that one out. If you do come across a mountain, you want to act like a fool. You want to pick up rocks, sticks, throw anything, leaves, whatever you got. Throw everything at that mountain lion, scream, holler, yell. Shouldn't be a problem. What you don't want to do is turn off and start running and acting like prey. And that's what prey does, and that's what prey acts like. You start running, that cat is going to turn on its instincts and come after you. And you don't want to be the number 28th fatality. It's also a risk. There's a lot more mountain runners, people that run on the trail, people that bike on the trail, a lot of mountain bikers. And to tell you the truth, you never know when a cat may jump on top of you thinking that you're a deer running away or whatever the case may be. But anyway, number 5 is the mountain lion. Just because the mountain lion's made number 5 on the list doesn't mean that they're not dangerous. They are very dangerous. If you see one, definitely stay away. Take a quick picture, then get the heck out of there. But mountain lions are, when there's a mountain lion in the area, one has been seen in the campsite, grab your little kids, little dogs, cats, animals, pets, get them out of there because they're going to be not good. Okay, the 4th most dangerous animal to come across while you're hiking is responsible for, all throughout the 1990s, only 11 attacks, with 3 of them being fatal, and that is the bear. And those stats are from Canada and to United States. I had to double check that because it seemed like every time you turn around, a lot of times there's always a bear attack. Not to say there's no bear attacks, but if there is, fatalities always resulted in, but there was only 3 deaths. Very rare to have a bear attack you. Once again, does not mean that the bears are not dangerous. They are very dangerous. Keep your distance. I have a bear video that I made as well too on what do you do if you encounter a black bear. That's on YouTube. I'll hit the link with that as well too. Polar bears, totally different scenario. Probably one of the most dangerous, the Kodiak bears and the polar bears, very dangerous. It's definitely, if you have a polar bear near you, on you, or stalking you, that is definitely not good. Totally different scenario. Not a lot of stats when it comes to the polar bears. Because they don't leave any evidence behind is what that probably is. But bears made number 4 on this list. Doesn't mean they're not dangerous. Just means they're number 4. Okay, number 3, the most dangerous animal that you want to be aware of while hiking. Moose is number 3. Moose are not responsible for any fatal attacks. But you catch a bull moose that is extremely territorial. The title of the video is the most dangerous, not fatalities, but it is the most dangerous animals. The moose is extremely dangerous because they are very territorial, especially the bull moose when it goes into the rut. If a bull moose starts walking over towards you and you are in the trees, you get behind a tree and you need to dodge and weave behind that tree. If there are no trees, or if you stumble and you fall to the ground, or you're on the ground, or that moose runs you over, get down on your hands and knees and get in a fetal position into a ball. You want to take both your hands. I wish I can demonstrate it, but I can't. get into a ball, bring your knees up to your chest, put both hands over top of your head and protect your head. Now that bull moose or that moose is going to bust you up a little bit. Just going to leave some bumps and bruises. It's going to be probably similar to Mike Tyson holding bricks and swinging them at you. You may have to take a quick little beating, and then he'll walk away about 5 to 10 feet, look at you, and then he'll be disinterested in you and then walk away. You do not want to get up. You may not be able to get up, but if that moose starts pounding on you, he's going to hit you with his hooves. May last 5 seconds. You're going to be bruised up, but you're going to still be living. But because you're going to cover your head. It's starting to rain on me. But you're going to cover up your head. Okay, that's what you want to protect. And that moose may hit you a couple times, may just nudge you, it may sit there and pound on you for a little bit. You protect your head. So once that moose starts walking away, don't get up yet. You wait for that moose to be walking away probably 25 yards beforehand. And then you get up, and then you start walking the opposite direction. You keep trees around you. A lot of times, if a moose can't get a hold of you, it may try to charge you. You get behind a tree and you divert them. A lot of times they'll walk away. But if you lose footing, or if you lose, somehow he gets you on the ground, you get into a ball and then you protect your head, because that's what he's going for. He's going to pound you a couple times and walk away, may come back and pound you again, and then he'll lose interest. You're not on his diet plan. He's not going to eat you, okay? But he wants to make sure that you're down, so he may fight with you for a little bit. And as long as you stay down, you are showing him that he is the dominant one, and then he will sit there and walk away. Okay? That's just the way it is. If there's any other way, I would like for my subscribers to tell me something different. I know I got a lot of hunters on here as well too. They're always going to say to use your firearms. Sometimes a lot of us that go hiking don't have firearms or carry firearms. It's two equivalent reasons why I don't carry a firearm, because it's too heavy. But I haven't had any problems where I need them. This right here, the knowledge that I have, the knowledge that I'm bringing into the woods, I really don't need a firearm. I leave my firearm in my vehicle, in my truck. And I'll carry extra food and extra water and extra supplies that I can to live. Now, if I'm hiking somewhere up north, further up north, where there's Kodiak bears, grizzly bears that are not as friendly, I'll carry a firearm. Some trails out there don't want you hiking on that trail unless you are carrying a firearm. I'm all for it. But not everybody carries one. If you had any encounters with any moose, do me a favor, please share your story on the comments. I would love to hear them. I love to hear them. But the moose made it to the number 3 because they are more dangerous. They have put more people in the hospitals. No fatalities, but they put them in the hospitals. So, and that's the title of this, is what's most dangerous. Okay, the second most dangerous animal that you need to be aware of, and I'm always aware of, it's responsible for 8,000 attacks with only 5 dying a year, 5 fatalities a year, and that's on an average. Now, I don't want to minimize the 5 fatalities, because that's 5 families that are lost to loved ones, and it is poisonous snakes. I am constantly, a lot of hikers, we're always looking down when we're hiking, especially on the Appalachian Trail. We have our hiking sticks, especially rattlesnakes. Of course, you got everything from cottonmouths to what's that other one? Copperheads. I see copperheads all the time. Matter of fact, I got bit twice by copperheads in the leaves when I was picking up leaves, right on my hands. Matter of fact, copperheads are probably one of the only snakes that don't inject venom every time they bite. They can control it. Rattlesnakes, no. Rattlesnake's gonna bite you, it's gonna pop you with venom every time. Timberback rattlesnakes, and then you got the diamondback rattlesnakes. Diamondback rattlesnakes, boy, they're fierce. They're just mean. Timberback rattlesnakes are more timid. I've stood right beside a timberback rattlesnake, didn't even know it's there. I looked down, I thought it was a black snake. And then until it went over to the side, curled up, started rattling at that point. But the timberback rattlesnakes, like I said, a little bit more timid. I actually had lunch one time on a outcropping of rocks, and I had a timberback rattlesnake sitting beside me, or curled up beside me, and I was having lunch with him for about 20 minutes. I didn't even know he was there. Until I got it up is when he started rattling. I'm like, oh my goodness, he was right there the whole time. But a lot of times when you go out to the outcroppings, use your stick, your hiking stick, and tap on the rocks to see if you hear any rattling before you go out there. A lot of times they'll give you a warning. Whenever you climb in rocks, especially on the Appalachian Trail, and watch out where you put your hands, because it could be a small rattlesnake or a big rattlesnake, whatever. Right where you're putting your hand, you can grab a hold of that rattlesnake and not even know it. Poisonous snakes are responsible for 8,000 attacks, but only 5 of them resulting in deaths. Steer clear from the rattlesnakes. Check your trails, watch where you put your hands when you're out on outcroppings and rocks. If you do get bit by a rattlesnake, I have a video of that one coming out as well too, but if you do get bitten by a rattlesnake, keep it clean, wrap it up, get your first aid kit, keep the wound clean, get off the trail, go straight to the hospital. No, don't suck out the venom, and don't try to get somebody else to suck out the venom. I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of comments of my subscribers, which I love my subscribers. But no, all those westerns where you suck out the venom or you cut an X and let it bleed out, no, doesn't work. That's for the movies, guys. That's for the movies. I know you guys are going to start talking and saying all that stuff, but bring it on. Come get me. And for my many critics that are out there, hey, if you have a better way or if you know something else about it, please share it with the group. I definitely appreciate it. Here's another thing as well, too, about snakes, the poisonous snakes. You definitely do not want to kill a rattlesnake. A rattlesnake is a hiker's best friend. And I mean that. Matter of fact, all snakes are the hiker's best friends. And let me tell you why. But that's right, 300,000 people are infected by ticks. And that's why you don't want to hurt number 2, which are the poisonous snakes. The poisonous snakes eat the rats. That is their food supply. They eat the rats, and that's how ticks get around. They live on rats and the small mammals that run all throughout the forest. But the mountain lions, very rare. Bears, very rare. It took me years before I saw the first moose. Rattlesnakes, not that many. If I go out and look for some, I can find some. But a tick, you walk in the woods for 10 minutes, there's a tick on you. A lot of times I'll set up my tent out in the woods before I go back and get my water supply, and I come back and there's 4 or 5 ticks walking on the outside of my screen of the tent. The ticks are out there. They're the ones that are dangerous. They do have repellent clothes. I don't have a lot of experience with repellent clothes. Do me a favor, my subscribers, my beloved friends, please go ahead and let me know if those clothes do work against ticks. But there are repellent clothes out there for mosquitoes and all that as well too. But if you're hiking the Appalachian Trail, your main concern is ticks. If you do have a tick on you, here's the thing. Need a tick puller or get it off. You don't have a tick puller, still get that thing off there. Got to get the head off of it as well too. But you have 36 hours to get that tick off there. So you really got to check yourself at all times. And let me tell you something. A lot of times when I'm sitting there hiking throughout the day, I'll cover 16 miles, 20 some miles, even if it's 80 miles. I don't care. A lot of times at the end of the day, I'm tired. I don't feel like checking myself for ticks. You just want to eat, jump in your sleeping bag, and go straight to bed. But the ticks, especially if you get a rash, the bullseye rash, which is a sign of Lyme's disease. Don't have to have that rash to have the Lyme's disease. But that means that tick has been on you for a while before you had gotten it off. Just remember, you got to get those ticks off of you within 36 hours. If not, that infection that is in that tick is going to take over. Now, I did say the 5 most dangerous animals. Some people I know are going to sit there and say that a tick is not really an animal, but I don't know, I guess it is. It's more of a parasite, but still though, it's a danger. And it's the top 5 dangers you should be aware of. I'd be more scared of the ticks than I would be of the mountain lions, bears, rattlesnakes, moose that you very rarely see. Walk 10 minutes into the woods, you'll have a tick. You'll see a tick. On one note, I want to share a story of a good friend of mine, or he went on a camping trip and he took his son, he was spending time with his son. All of a sudden, he got pulled away from work. His son had to go to the hospital and he evidently had gotten bit from a tick. I think they got that tick off of there. It was on there for a while. I think it had a rash as well too, but it never got better. He actually, all of a sudden at that point, they had doctors all around him. He couldn't move his arms. He couldn't move his legs. It was almost like he was paralyzed. He was in bad shape. And then the doctors were scratching their head. They couldn't figure out what was going on with this kid because they have already gotten that tick off. So what they decided to do was, I believe one doctor had sit there and thought that he had maybe the signs of tick paralysis. Forgive me if I'm not saying that right, but they had to find that tick. So this 16-year-old kid is being combed over with these doctors trying to find this tick. They went all through his hair, every orifice of his body, everywhere in him. I mean, I'm talking about probably with magnifying glasses, whatever they had to do. But after a long time of searching him over and over again, they found in between his toes, they saw a little leg and the back end of a butt of a tick that was going inside of his body. And it caused the 16-year-old kid, healthy kid, to be paralyzed. They pulled the tick out. I think within 2 hours, kid was great. Kid was fine, ready to go home. Ready to eat, had an appetite and everything. But what if they didn't find that tick? And what if that doctor didn't come to his head about tick paralysis? That tick was going inside of his body. That's horrible. That's dangerous. That's extremely dangerous. I'm sure a lot of you guys have a lot of stories, probably something similar to that. Please share them on the comment level if you have stories of this. If you think I'm wrong and you don't think that a tick is more dangerous than a mountain lion, leave a comment and tell me why. Now, if I got a mountain lion in front of me, I'm not going to worry about no ticks. I'm going to go ahead and do what I got to do, whatever case may be. I get it. But that right there is the top 5 dangers of animals while hiking that you should be aware of and what to do if you encounter them. Thank you very much for showing me the support on this channel. Thank you very much for the donations. I hope you stay safe in these trying times, and I'll see you next time on the next video. Thanks again.